What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout and welcome to our How to Play Red Universe free guide. I'm unreasonably excited to bring you this deck. I love it so much. But before we begin this video, important things. First off, please hit the notification bell button. I have been told that YouTube is acting up again and that videos don't show up in subscription fee. So not to miss anything, hit the notification button because we will have a ton of videos coming out very soon. Other than that, this video is brought to you by us, by Zenke Showdown. Zenke Showdown 2 Xenoverse is taking place in Poland on the 22nd of April. Previous Zenke Showdown was one of the biggest events in Europe. So yeah, go check it out. Go check out the video. Yeah, I'll never get used to this. The video with this thumbnail for more information. And finally, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us a lot and maybe we can reach our goal of 3,000 subs by the end of March. That would be awesome. Now, roll the video. As with all of our videos, let's start with the breakdown. Oh man, I'm so excited for this one. First, we will start with an archetype breakdown. Then we'll go over some key cards, various plays, first 3 turns, and I will briefly touch upon turn 4, and then we'll just end it all with a summary. Let's go! What is our game plan with this deck? This deck is very cool. It's so cool. You are stacking robots under bigger robots to make one big robot, basically. The deck is very consistent. Everything in the deck tutors for something else. It does exactly what you want it to do. It does it very consistently. This is awesome. You will see so many cards in the first 4 turns. It's similar to the green Super 17 deck, but it's not bad. Like, that's basically the best way to put it. It's like Super 17 but not bad. And you get a lot of earlier and higher payoffs. That's why it feels so better. Because you go off very early and your payoffs actually feel like payoffs. And finally, there are 2 routes that you can take with this deck and we will briefly go over both of them. Let's start with the leader. Here is our leader. Pepperoni the Pizza Man himself is here. He has only 1 auto to draw an attack. This is, quite below average. Even today, we have a lot of leaders that have more than this 1 auto on the front side. But Pepperoni, the Pizza Man, I'm not gonna give him too much trouble for this. He has a cool awakening condition. Like all Zenkai block leaders, he can awaken on turn 2 pretty consistently. And then his awakening side is quite better than this one. So yeah, only 1 auto, draw an attack, but we won't be seeing this side for very long. On the awakened side, now Pepperoni gets some spices for your pizza, and now it's Warriors of Universe 3 united as one. Now he no longer draws on attack, but instead he tutors on attack. So he searches top 5 and grabs something. This is awesome for consistency. I would love to have this on every single leader instead of just draw 1. This is awesome. He also allows us to cheat out our 4-drop for 1 energy, but only super late in the game and when we are on 3 lives or less. Keep in mind, I'll talk about this a bit later. This isn't good. This isn't good. You would always like to play your 4-drop for 1 energy instead of cheating it, and I will explain why a bit later. But yeah, he tutors on attack. Everything in this deck tutors. It's so awesome. Let's check out some more cards. First, let's start with our 1-drops. We have 2 sets of robots, 3-drops and 1-drops. 1-drops a lot better in my opinion. Let's check them out. Our 1-drops are Koitsukai, Panchia and Bollerator. Sure, the guy with the ball, basically. Panchia and the guy with the ball, you likely won't be playing these 2 instead of Koitsukai. Koitsukai is great because he's basically a key engine piece on its own. He can do so much on his own. But these 2, they're okay. They're not bad, they're okay. Basically, all of them have this effect where you play 1 and then he tutors for another one. Like I said, a lot of tutoring. However, there is this one key important thing that everyone dismissed and said like, okay, this deck is just trash. No, keep one thing in mind. They give plus 10k buff to your 4-drop and to your big boss monsters. Because if they're beneath them, they're permanent triggers, they give plus 10k buff. That's plus 10k for nothing. That's amazing. The last 1-drop is Koitsukai. So here I wrote that this is your go-to 1-drop. I'm not completely sold on this anymore, but you know, depending on your game plan, if you're looking for one to play, you're probably looking at this one. Because what this one can do is Union Absorb limit 1 and he can get the other ones. Like the other ones just search for another one and that's it. Like for free. But with Koitsukai you can pay one more and then just grab other pieces, place them under Koitsukai and then grab a 4-drop and place it on top. And then like 4-drop gets plus 10k. That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. Now let's look at this 4-drop. Okay, so there are 2 ways to get this one out. We can either get it through our 1-drop Koitsukai just by paying 2 energy, and then we get it with 3 cards under it, giving him plus 10k buff, so he is deflect 25k on turn 2. That's awesome. Alternatively, if we go second, we can use its activate main limit 1 and we can get it out for only 1 energy, but in that case it's coming out with only 1 card under it, so it's like 20k deflect. It's cheaper, but it's weaker. Then we have the other set of robots, the 3-drops. What do these ones do? Well, I'm not a fan of these ones. I'm sorry, I'm super excited for this archetype, but I'm not a fan of these ones. The guy with balls is the only good one because he is a pretty solid negate for 1 energy and he has blockers, so he absorbs 2 attacks. That's awesome. Koitsukai is like an extra tutor. The third one is just bad. So between the 3-drops and like 1-drops, I honestly think that 1-drops are a lot better, minus, you know, the counter one, because counter one is amazing. Like you need this counter one. Problem with these 3-drops is that they limit to 1 auto, where when they're placed under your 4-drop, they give minus 10k to something. It's not that good. It's not that good because when you activate main your 4-drop, you can grab only 1 3-drop or less and put it under him. Like that's the only way to assemble him with 3-drops. And like just to minus 10 something, which really doesn't mean anything anymore. Like it's not much of a payoff when you can just go with 1-drops instead and give him like plus 10k permanently. That looks much better. Finally we have the boss monster, 25k triple attack for 3 energy. That's okay. It's just okay. It's a lot weaker than a majority of red boss monsters nowadays. This is a lot weaker, but this auto limit 1 where you can deal 1 damage kinda makes up for it, but it only works sometimes. I'm not sold on the idea that it is worth to play this card for 3 energy because there is a lot better boss monster in the archetype. You know, normal cards are okay. They're okay at best, but Z battle cards are where the real power is. This one is really solid. Like when you assemble it, you pay 2 Z energy, and then he also gains barrier until the end of the turn, and you put like 3 robots under it. Keep in mind, these 3 robots, 2 of them give him plus 5k, so that's like 10k. This is on turn 2, 30k with barrier. Like that's awesome. The only issue is that it costs 2 Z energy, which is a bit clunky to get, but once you get him going, 2 energy 30k on turn 2 with barrier. That's awesome. And at the end of turn 2, you know, once you swing, he is in rest mode, he can be attacked, but he's still 30k, he's not going down. So like this one is awesome. Then we have the real powerhouse of the deck, the Z boss monster. 25k deflect double strike on turn 3, which also removes 2 cards on attack and has barrier for the rest of the turn. Like, what's not to love here? Keep in mind, you will consistently be able to get 6 cards under him. Like, I'll show you how to do this. so he also gains dual attack, and now he removes 3 cards when he attacks for the first time. Plus, you are putting small robots under him, and small robots work with this boss monster, so he gains plus 10k, so he's 35. This is awesome. Like, this one is so much better than the other one, and it starts in the Z deck, like it's basically in the hand the entire game. This is awesome. Wait until you see how to play this. This is so good. Here is our deck list. Link is in the description below. So this deck list is not completely refined. I like the interaction between the Unison and cheating out robots in. The majority of the deck are the robots and Universe 3 cards because you don't want to miss on your tutor effects. And other than that, I've chosen to go with Reddits because I really hate in Archetype super combos. A link is in the description below. Let's dive into how to play this deck. Let's start with the mulligan. So what do you want? You want your 1-drop. Doesn't matter which one. Let's say we go with the guy with the balls. Then we take the pizza man, because we'll need the pizza man to get our boss monster in. And finally, you can go with the 4-drop if you want. I would maybe go with more 1-drops instead of the 4-drop, because we will be going for Z battle cards instead of normal cards. But if you find this and you want to keep it, it's okay. The third slot in our mulligans is always, a variety slot. So yeah, let's say that you want to take this one, otherwise go with a 1-drop. We will be going over the first 3 turns of the game, and then I'll briefly touch upon turn 4. This deck looks really consistent, and there are 2 different routes that we can take. The Z boss monster route or the normal boss monster route. However, I believe that the Z boss monster route is infinitely better, so we will be going with that one. But in turn 4, if you haven't destroyed your opponent, you can transition into the normal boss monster. I'll talk about that as well. We're assuming that you have kept the mulligan that we have shown you, that you probably have at least one more 1-drop in your hand, and that, as always, you're going first. Let's see what these robots can do. Turn 1, let's get our important pieces. Turn 1 is pretty consistent. Here's an example. You start, you charge 1, pay 1, play the 1-drop, search the deck for the other 1-drop, and then end the turn. What's very important here is that you have all 3 1-drops in your hand by the end of the turn. So this is relatively easy to get as long as you hit 2 different ones in the mulligan. And then you also need to charge 1 Z energy on your opponent's turn. However, this time don't combo with the 1-drop on the field. Combo with the card from hand. You will need the 1-drop to attack with it on turn 2 so that you can charge the second Z energy. Turn 2, we're getting out our Z battle card. We started the turn, we charge 1, now we attack with the 1-drop that we have played. So we need this 1-drop to attack, don't combo it into the Z energy, please don't do that. Then when he attacks, now you combo with any card from hand and just charge it into Z energy. Now we pay 1 to play this or any other 1-drop. It's auto triggers and we get like whichever 1-drop we are missing, or we get like some 1-drops for future turns like duplicates. We need to think a bit ahead and then we just add it to our hand. Following that, we can finally awaken. We draw 1, restand 1. You see, like that's mainly why we get the third copy, so that we can use this 1 energy. Plus it is always welcomed, trust me, it is welcomed to have extras in hand. Then we pay 2 and 2 Z energy, so now we're tapped out completely. We play our big Z battle card. This Z battle card says when we play it, we get the 3 1-drops and we put it under it. Okay, now it gains barrier until the end of the turn and plus 10k, because the ball guy and Panchia give it plus 5k each. Then it's time to attack. This is a 30k barrier guy swinging at your opponent on turn 2. The attack resolves, we attack with Pepperoni, the pizza guy, and then we tutor for any card that we need. This can be like boss monster, this can be some other cards in the archetype, anything that we need. This is of course highly situational, and then we end the turn. Turn 3, the boss monster comes out. We start the turn, we charge 1, pay 1, and play Pepperoni the pizza guy. He draws us 1, and then we pay 2. We play Anilaza from beneath our Z battle card. Keep in mind, so it goes on top, so the Z battle card remains under it, and then it auto triggers, and then we place all of these other cards, the other remaining 4 ones, under Anilaza. We have 5 cards beneath it, and then we activate its activate main. So we use our boss monster's activate main to place a universe free card from our hand under it. So we place any card. It can be the one that we got last turn, doesn't matter. Now it has 6 in total. It has 6, which means that because we have the old Z battle card under it, we have the 4 cards that you put under it anyway through its auto, so that's 5, and now you have just placed the 6th one. It gains dual attack. Keep in mind, it has the robots that give it plus 5k under it, so it gains 10k as well. This is now 30k, dual attacker, double strike, barrier. Time to attack, you attack the first time, auto triggers. For each 2 cards under it, you give something minus 30k. Not leaders, just battle cards or unisons. It has 6 cards under it. 3 cards gone, removed, just minus 30. Insane. Then he restands, attacks again, because he's a dual attacker. The attack resolves, and then finally we attack with our leader, and then we tutor for something. What happens now? Well, we have 1 energy left. And you see, here are some things that you can play for 1 energy. So going into turn 4, we want to have our 8 drop out. If we go to turn 4, of course. So we either save this one for a negate, or we get the 4 drop out. But I would say that rather use the 4 drop out on the next turn and then just spend the remaining energy on negate. Because if you play it now, you're risking it getting removed and it's not as good, and then it will be difficult to get the 8 to drop 1, so just use the last remaining energy on your negate. Turn 4, what do we do now? Important thing, because on this turn you will like to play your 8 drop, but trust me, it matters how you get your 4 drop out. You might be tempted to use your leader's activate main. Don't do that, because if you use your leader's activate main, you will lose on the 5k buff because he plays the 4 drop without anything beneath it. So you're losing a 5k buff. So it's better to just pay 1 energy for the 4 drops activate main and then play it with 1 card under it. So like I said, there is a big difference in how you get the 4 drop out. Use its limit 1 effect to play it, because you pay 1 to play it and then you get to put only a single card under it, and then you just pick one of your robots that gives plus 5k. So when you pay 3 energy to EX evolve Anilaza on top of it, Anilaza is on top of the 1 drop and it gets plus 5k. So now your boss monster is 30k triple attacker, which is significantly better than 25. Man, this was a long video. We actually started during the day and you can see that it's already evening. So anyway, let's end it with a summary. I love this deck so much. So many people are saying that this is trash. Now, it's good. It's not meta deck, but it's good. The deck is much better than it appears to be on the first glance, because you need to take account those plus 5k boosts. So whenever you're reading your 4 drops and your boss monsters, read them as if they had plus 5 to plus 10k boost. Then they are looking a lot better. There is a lot of consistency here. Everything is tutoring for something. I'm very happy with it. Like, you can miss very rarely with this deck. You'll basically always have whatever you need because there's so much tutoring in this deck. The free drops are unfortunately underwhelming, so stick to using 1 drops instead, as they are quite better. I mean, the free drops don't do anything, but like the 1 drops, they give plus 5k for basically nothing, so go with them. It won't be a meta deck, but it is a quite strong deck on its own. It's a quite strong deck on its own. It's not trash. Like, I've heard so many people saying that this is trash. It's not trash. Like, it's strong. When you consider that the 35k double strike dual attacker remove free things barrier is swinging at you on turn 3, that's extremely powerful. So yeah, the deck is strong. Just read what the cards do, basically. And trust me, it's not gonna be a meta deck, but for locals, this is amazing. I highly recommend this deck to complete beginners, as it is super easy to pilot and it has some very good payoffs. Like, it has amazing payoffs and it is super straightforward and super easy. So if you're someone who's just getting into the game, this is a great deck to start with. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the Red Universe 3 Archetype? Are you excited to try it out? Do you think that it's trash? Or that, you know, it's actually good, or like there is something here? Would you recommend it to beginners? Let me know. Let me know, have I changed your mind on this deck? Write it down in the comments. I read all of your comments. I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And before you leave, hit that notification bell, because YouTube is doing YouTube things again. Hit that like and subscribe button and help us reach our goal of 3k subs. I don't think this is reachable, but let's try anyway, by the end of March. This has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.